If you're experiencing stress and anxiety on a regular basis, this video will give you 3 simple mindfulness-based strategies that you can integrate into your daily life to help support you with those experiences. So if you like this video, get something out of it, please subscribe, like the video, and check out some of the other videos we're putting out there for you. I'm Ellie. I'm here at RV Performance Training. I'm a certified coach and meditation teacher. And in our video today, I'm going to give you just 3 simple mindfulness-based strategies that really can be incorporated in your day-to-day experience to help support you when you're experiencing stress and/or anxiety. So before we jump into these tools, I just want to mention this, what is mindfulness? We hear this word a lot. So it's a very simple understanding of what mindfulness is it's the understanding that in truth, we are always present. We know that physically because we move through the world and we're always present in the body. But often our thoughts are elsewhere, or even our emotions can be connected to something that's not currently happening now. So sometimes that's in the past, we're replaying things over and over again, or oftentimes in the future. That's a lot of times where our anxiety comes from, is sort of this wanting to know what's going to happen, the uncertainty, and trying to anticipate what might be coming. We can also actually be somewhat present even with our thinking, but be analyzing and evaluating and doing a lot with our minds in a given moment. So these mindfulness tools are called that because they're attempting to help us get into the body and to connect into an experience that is currently present. So with our breathing, with feeling sensations in the body, with even including sensory experiences as a whole. So for our first tool, I actually really want to make this experiential for you. So I'd love for you to not just listen to this, but actually try to follow along as I guide you through a process so that you're experiencing what I'm speaking about and can really understand how the tool can support you. So this is a really simple strategy that almost seems too simple to actually work for this experience, but it's just simply finding the support beneath you. So you can do this whether you're standing or sitting. I just want you to take a moment to close your eyes and bring your attention inward and downward to whatever is supporting you. So whether that's under your seat or under your feet. Once you feel down into that support, finding that support, I want you to allow your body itself to rest down just a little bit more into that support. So when your body knows that there's support underneath of it, there's actually a physiological experience that occurs where the nervous system begins to rest. So we move from a state of reactivity into a state of rest, simply by noticing the support and allowing ourselves to rest down into it. So just take a few moments, again, feeling in and down to whatever support is underneath of you, feeling down into the body itself, and allow for anything that's bracing, anything that's contracting to just settle. And just spend a few moments there. So once you've established that support, again, you can continue to work with that, but this second tool that I'm going to give you, you can do with that or without, but it's really a form of breath work. So I do want to just mention before we launch into the actual experience of it, why our breath is important in relationship to anxiety and stress. So when we're experiencing stress and anxiety, we even subtly begin to activate our sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight, flight, and freeze mechanism. And when we are operating in that state, our breath tends to become shallower. So what we're going to work with today is what's called the extended exhale. And we are going to focus on lengthening the exhale for the purpose of really actually completing that exhale breath. When we exhale completely, it activates something called the vagus nerve, which actually brings the parasympathetic nervous system online, which is the rest and digest function of the nervous system. But again, what happens when we're experiencing stress is we inhibit the proper exhale. So this is a great tool anytime out in life as you're moving through day-to-day experiences to just bring attention to emptying of the breath completely. But it's also a practice that you can incorporate if you want to take 5 minutes during your day to sit and work with your extended exhale. It really helps to kind of nourish and soothe that nervous system. So the way the extended exhale works is you do want to sit up in an upright position with a tall spine, and you can close the eyes if that helps you to bring your attention inward. And again, just like we did prior to this, where you're just settling down into the support underneath of you, find that support. And what's important anytime you're doing breath work is you don't want your breath work to create activation. So if what I'm counting in terms of that breath length, if that's too much for you, just take it back a notch. You count on your own. You just want to make sure that that exhale is a little bit longer than your inhale. So I'm going to go with a 4 to 6 count, but like I said, if that's too long, if it's creating more agitation, not what you want to do. You want to go to some place that feels like it's calming, like it's settling something inside. So again, you can close your eyes or you can rest the gaze downwards slightly. And we're just going to keep all the breath moving through the nose. And we'll inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for a count of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So that's something, like I said, you can continue at your own pace in any duration of time, even doing just a couple of rounds of that when you're in maybe a high stress situation or experiencing a lot of anxiety will really help to settle and just allow you again to get more fully present in this moment rather than whatever your mind is doing outside of that. So that's another great tool, along with that sensing the support beneath you. Another tool that you can have in your toolbox, which is really a way to just consider the ways in which you are bringing in content, whatever material into your experience. So what I call this is soothe through the senses. So what I mean by that is that we often are not quite aware of how our environment is impacting us when it comes to that stress and that anxiety. So beyond what we're thinking about things, we also are heavily influenced by our other senses. So this is something to just consider. If you are feeling activated, anxious, stressed, what are some sounds that you can incorporate that are actually calming for you? What are even sights? What are things that you can look at that are calming for you? What are materials that you can read? What are you consuming? Whether that's, again, like what you're listening to, what you're reading, what you're viewing. Is that agitating you and adding to that stress and anxiety in any particular moment? Or is it something that can help you to regulate your nervous system and settle yourself down? So that's something, again, for you just to consider, to begin to incorporate more of those things that are soothing to you and maybe eliminate or just move away from some of the things that are activating, even if just temporarily, to help get you into a more grounded and calm state in your day-to-day experience. So along with those tools, all of us have ways in our own lives that we really find ourselves getting present and attentive to what's happening in the moment. And I'm curious with you, what are things that you do on a daily basis that allow you to really drop into the present moment? You might not have considered that as a mindfulness tool, but we all have things like that. For example, being out in nature or playing with our dog or our kids. Anything like that can be considered mindfulness. Anything that you do that can bring you directly into the moment. So I hope you found these tips helpful. If you are curious to learn more, please feel free to visit my website, ellieburke.life, or follow me on Instagram, ellieburkelife as well, where I share a lot more about mindfulness and really about awareness-based work in life coaching as well. I'd love to see you over there. Please be sure to check out our other videos that help to support you in taking control of your health and well-being. And as always, subscribe and like the video, and we'll see you at the next one.